What's going on, guys? My name's Matt Minton.
Welcome to the Mint Condition.
It's my buddy and sales director, Jason Lockwood.
And this is Matt Minton, founder and owner of Minton Media.
I have one question for you. How much do you believe in your business? That's what this conversation's all about. Because today we're going to talk about budgeting yourself out of profit, out of revenue, out of raising your bottom line. People watching might be like, well, what the heck does that even mean?
Yeah.
So, how I take that as is, are you looking to spend or are you spending too little money on anything for your business where it's not actually going to grow your business?
Right. A lot of people get into a hustle and bustle about just, I need to get online. I need to be seen.
And I need to do it as cheaply as possible.
Yes.
Because in my perspective, you just don't believe in what you have enough. So you're like, I just need to spend as little as possible to get online. And that's the thing I need. I just need to get online.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how. Doesn't matter who does it.
Yeah.
I just need to get online for the cheapest way possible.
Part of the problem is there's so many ways to do that. There's so many avenues of, well, if you pay $1.99 here or $100 there, we got this, that, and the other. And it sounds good on the surface.
Yep.
But is it going to net me the dividends that my hard work deserves?
Yeah, exactly. And it typically doesn't. Most business owners end up, going for those budget options and then doing their best to actually build their website themselves, which is actually admirable. As a business owner, you really step in and do anything and everything you can to move your business forward, which is really cool.
Yes.
But the problem with that is it's taking you away from the other things that you're truly good at. Like actually growing your business, doing what you actually enjoy. And a lot of the time when you're building a website and it's not your desire or passion, it actually takes you away from your business. It annoys you. The moment you go and work and you're like, man, my website sucks. It annoys you because it doesn't breathe the magic that you feel your business actually has and what made you start your business, because your website doesn't fit the model that that you see your business as.
That's true. And I've seen a lot of, some of which our clients take advantage of some of those low-cost offers that are out there. And there are some instances where it seems like you're doing really well in the beginning, right? You put up that little bit of money, you're starting to see more money than you spent come in. Sometimes it even seems consistent, but you have no benchmark to put that up against. You've got no idea how much money you ought to be making. You just know that you're making more than what you put in. And if you had just done a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like what I always think about, which is, there's the 2% the 2% you don't know, and the 96% you don't know. And that's the part that really matters, because that 96% is a whole bunch of money left on the table.
Yes.
And if you just budgeted a little bit more for your website and into your company, into your business to grow it even further, you'll actually bring your business to the next level or next 5 levels if you just put in the money to do so.
Yeah.
With a company that understands what it takes to take you to that extra level.
Yeah. I had been told by a really smart guy, whose name I won't drop, but I've been told that when you are looking for somebody to do business with, to help grow your business, for instance, his example was a marketer, right? If you're looking for a marketer and the marketer says, well, how much money do you want to spend this month? And where do you want to spend it?
Yep.
Right? And if you're able to answer those 2 questions, good for you. But at the same time, why didn't you do it yourself? Right?
Yeah.
You don't have a marketer. You got an order taker. That's what you have.
Yeah, exactly. The cookie cutter methods. And if you already know where you want to put your money and how much, then just do it.
Yeah. And what that makes me wonder is, what is it that people get sold on when it comes to that? Like, what is actually being pushed that's so appealing to the person that says, yeah, I want the website in a box for $100, please?
The cheapness of it. They think that, all they hear is you need to get your business online.
True.
That's all you need to do. You just need to get online. Yeah, you do. But there's many different ways to do it. I mean, if your car was breaking down, would you go to the cheapest service station?
No.
Probably not, because it might work for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then 2 months later, you're back at that service shop again, spending the same amount or more to fix it, and then you're just going to keep going back for fixes.
Right.
But if you take it to a more elite level service shop, spending maybe 5 times as much, you likely won't have to go back for a very long time.
Yeah.
In fact, you might be so excited about the work that you actually want to customize your vehicle even more, because those guys are so passionate about what they do.
Yes.
And so excited about fixing your car that they're like, dude, you could do all this other stuff. If you want to improve the efficiency of it, do this. They're excited by it.
That's true.
Which gets you excited about it.
It really does. I try to correlate to a lot of people when it comes to your business. If your business is your baby, read the baby books. Get the tips, get the tricks, get all of the things that you need before you just shell out some money. And yes, $100, $200, $300 might not seem like a lot of money at first. I mean, because it isn't. But is that the best way to go, right? Like, are you going to your favorite restaurant and buying the cheapest thing on the menu? Are you going to your favorite car manufacturer and saying, I want the Geo Prism? You're not saying
I remember that car.
You're not doing any of that. You want the best thing you can get for the amount of money that you're willing to spend. And a lot of those times, we end up, what I call, bumping ourselves up with the more information that we learn, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like you were saying, you know so much, but once you start learning more, you're like, well, dang, now I do need that, right? So it's kind of that stack-on effect that I try to, I don't know, educate people on. Like, get all the information that's pertinent to you first before making any kind of purchase, and that means seeking out a professional in that field.
Totally.
So this is why I tell people they should likely work with an agency outside of trying to do something yourself or
going really budgeted, just finding a really cheap, developer who says they could build your entire website for $1,000. I mean, you're gonna get a website that costs $1,000. It's not going to stand out. It will get you online, but it's not going to be built by a team of UX UI designers. There's going to be no marketing strategy put behind it. You're just going to be an entity on the internet with a domain.
Which is not what you need. You need to move your product. You need to make money. You need to pay your bills. So it just makes sense to me that you go with somebody that not only knows how to do that stuff, but has a proven track record.
Sure.
Been in it for a while. Has some clients that can give you some testimonials and say, yeah, I went with these guys. I don't know what I would do without them.
I mean, yeah, we've built up clients from garage to multi-millions, 50 plus employees.
Yes.
Just doing big things. And it started out as a dream in their garage, and they were willing to spend the money to take them to the next level. And it got them out of the garage and into big office space. And their dreams are coming true. And that's super cool. And it all comes down to, how much do you believe in your business?
Yes.
Because if you don't believe in your business, that's the only reason you wouldn't spend any money. That's the only reason you would spend only $1,000 or $5,000 on a website is if you don't believe in your business. Because I always look at this as, if I were to tell you, hey, if you were to invest $50,000 into your business in order to generate $250,000, what would your answer be? Would it be yes or no?
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Who would say no to that?
Nobody.
Well, someone who doesn't believe in their business.
Yeah.
Plenty of people would say no because they don't believe in their business, or they don't believe in maybe the agency. I think it really comes down to, they don't believe that them putting their own hard-earned cash into their business is actually going to generate 5 times the amount of money. But I'm here to say that it does, and plenty more than that. I mean, like I said, we took clients out of their garage into businesses making millions and millions a year.
Yeah, I can think of a couple actually brick and mortars now that are doing big things.
Yeah, that's way more than a 5x return.
So I got a hard question for you. Is there a bottom line that you would recommend for a business to spend, or is it dependent on where the business is at?
It's really dependent on where they're at.
That's what I was thinking.
I do feel, and it really depends on the business. If you're an e-commerce business, you're going to spend more than a service business.
Sure.
Because your website is what creates all your revenue for you.
Sure.
But for a service business, a website's still really important because it will generate leads for you.
Right.
But we also have clients that have membership sites. that's all online. And so those sites do end up costing a bit more money.
Okay.
So it really depends on the industry, but all I'll say is spend some money.
Yeah.
Invest into you, invest into your business. What you've spent these years building is beautiful.
Right.
And if you really believe in your product,
Yeah.
put some money into it. Put some skin in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if your product is life changing,
Get it out there.
Yeah. Why would you not?
Yeah.
Why would you not?
Why would you not? And if you partner with the right company, they're going to direct you. You know, they're not going to ask you what you want to do. They might ask for your vision, you know, because that needs to be aligned.
Sure.
And you have to have a vision. If your vision is I want to get my website online, well, that's not a vision.
Yeah,
we want to see, you know, where like one of the questions we ask our clients when they come on is, you know, where do you see yourselves in 5 to 10 years? Where are you right now? Where do you see yourselves? And if that isn't a straight arrow up, we don't want to work with you, because we're only interested in those businesses that truly want to take their business to the next 5 levels, and we want to be a partner in that process.
Yes.
In order to do that, you have to invest into your business, into yourself, to get to that level.
You actually made a lot of really good points there, because I've also heard that you can't lead without a vision, and nobody can follow your lead if they don't know where you're going.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
So,
we actually had that problem at Mitten Media, actually. You know, we could be transparent here.
Okay.
Last year, we didn't really have a clear vision of where we were going. It was just, we're growing.
Yes.
That was it. It
Yes.
wasn't like, man, I wasn't thinking 10 years down the road or 5 years. It was just
Right.
like, man, what are we bringing in next month?
Yes.
And while we were doing all right, because we're good developers and we're good designers,
Right.
the team didn't latch on, and that's why we don't have anyone that we had last year working for us, because there was no vision.
Okay.
So they started. I mean, this goes into like running employees and,
Okay.
and growth and all that stuff.
Okay.
But what we found is that those folks lost their own passion, because employees are only passionate about that vision.
Right.
And so we changed that by, you know, me ultimately going into myself and figuring out, man, where do we want to take this thing?
Right.
And at that point, you know, like they say, you need to invest in your business if you believe in it. We invested $250,000 to grow this business and put some real skin in the game and go all in.
Yes.
And in that process, we now have hired all new employees, including yourself.
Right.
And everybody is just loving that bigger vision and like just sprinting towards it every single day. I mean,
Yes,
our
dude.
stand-ups are
Yes,
just,
we are.
Our stand-ups are awesome. Just everyone, just, you know, a whole bunch of winners basically in a room and killing it. They're killing their personal goals, their professional goals, and really hitting financial goals that they had never even thought were possible. I mean, we're really opening up everybody's belief lids, and it's really because of the vision of the company where we're taking it.
Yeah. I try to tell people all the time that this is no different than your own business. If you don't have a vision and your only thought is, I need to get online, I need to get my products out there, and everything else will take care of itself via word of mouth. Yes, things will happen that way, but are they the things that are supposed to happen? If you have a vision, that means your site has a plan. People have guides and direction and all of these assistant features that help them find the information that they're looking for, right? When you start that journey, nobody cares what your site looks like or feels like initially, right? Because they haven't gotten there yet. They just got the question in their head, they're putting it into Google, and they're hoping that they won't have to go to page 2 to get the answer that they're looking for.
Well, yeah, who goes to page 2 of Google?
Right?
Do you know a funny joke is, where's the best place to hide a dead body?
Oh, God.
The second page of Google.
Okay.
Because nobody goes there.
That is very true. Like, I can't tell the last time that I clicked the next page. Now, I do scroll down past the ads, but I never go to page 2.
Well, yeah, but it still shows you, when people are searching Google to answer their questions, they're just looking for the first site that gives them all the answers they're looking for.
Yes.
And we want that to be your site.
Yes.
Now, let's say you have a really strict budget and you only spend $1,000, $5,000, even $10,000 on your website.
Yes.
You likely got a website built without any user journey built into it.
Yep.
There's no UX, no user experience built into it. It's just something to get you on the internet. And
what is, sorry to cut you off, but like, maybe you can elaborate a little bit more for the people that don't really understand what a user experience is.
Yeah, I mean it's what you see. It's how you flow through a website. It's kind of like, you follow a user follows a journey of answering their questions, or rather asking a question, what they think their question is, and then finding an expert that can answer the question and maybe spark other questions in their mind that you can still answer, all while framing your product as a solution while also giving them the answers they need without using your product.
Okay.
It's like the ultimate in giving them really solid content that they could take action on. And because you were the one to provide that to them in the easiest way possible,
Yes.
that's where UX and UI comes in, user interface and user experience, then they are going to be loyal to you. And they will try your products if it's built in a way where they can learn about your product while learning the answers to their questions.
So, not to take anybody down a dumb path of any sort, but it sounds like you're saying, or what I'm correlating this to is, if I can ask you a question and get an answer that I trust is true, then I'll continue coming to you.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to rhyme. It just happened that way.
Just happened. Yeah. I mean, they'll keep coming to you, but what you really want is for them to just keep reading. You want them excited by your content. It's kind of like when you're in a conversation with a friend, and you have questions, are you going to continue talking to them about that thing if they're like, I don't know? Or if they give you the answer, but it's not really exciting. They're just like, oh, you really want to do that? You want to build a home? Say we're talking about how do you build a home?
Sure.
You really want to do that? That's a lot of work. That's really expensive.
Right.
Like, here's all the problems that most people have.
Yes.
That's not exciting. That's not enjoyable. You want someone that's like, oh, hell yeah, you should build a home. That's awesome. Here's all the stuff that we did when we did it. Here's all the stuff to look out for.
Right.
But don't worry, it's not actually that bad because of all these resources that we can give you. And hey, if you go with us, you get all those things in a package, and we remove all the stress from it. And we're actually really passionate about what we do. And so if you ever want to have a conversation about this stuff and strategize about it or just talk about it, we would love to have that conversation with you.
Okay. So a key thing, it sounds like, is that when you're dealing with an agency and setting up a site for your business that you obviously take seriously because this is your hard work, it's important, or one of the things that I should expect to find when working with an agency is that I should expect to have a strategizing meeting of some sort where they are giving me sound suggestions or sound information that I'm learning from, and explaining to me how the structure of my website is going to accomplish these goals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, of course, they should definitely be able to answer those questions and give you some insight into what they do, not just, we'll build whatever you want. That's the thing you want to get away from.
Yeah, I feel like that's what a lot of people get, though.
That is what they get.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to build whatever, or I'll build whatever you want, you're going to build a site that's built or designed by the client who knows nothing about marketing.
Right.
The only time that works is if you're building a website for a marketing company.
Right.
Because then they know what goes into it.
Exactly.
So you definitely don't want an agency that's just like, we'll build whatever you want. Okay. You want an agency that'll help you strategize and figure out what you need to get to that next level. And that's where vision comes in. Because there's a very different website for someone who wants to go from 100,000 to 1 million. And that's as big as their vision is. Their belief lit is, I don't even think I can make 1 million, but I'm going to strive for that. That's a very different solution than building a website for someone who sees their business going to 100 million.
So our agency essentially focuses on helping guide people on how to scale their business, which is, I would say, 90% of agencies out there aren't really focused on that. It's more of taking direction as far as what it is that you're after and how to make that look nice. And just basically, I'm kind of checking the boxes. Like, you give me a list, I'm just making sure that they get done.
Yeah.
And in the end, if you're happy and you're making money, then I've earned a client maybe for longer than I expected, assuming that I'm still in the business by the time you need another project. Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they're only there to make the client happy. And while that's extremely important, would it make a client happier in a year if their $50,000 website generated $250,000 for them in
a
leads?
year? Sure.
In a year, yeah.
Yeah.
Leads or sales or whatever, versus spending $10,000 and that site hasn't made them any money. What would they rather want?
Right.
So both scenarios, the client's happy. The 10,000 scenario, they have a developer that's like, I'll do anything you want to create. I'll make whatever you want.
Yeah.
And they'll still do it well because most developers are really good.
Sure.
So they'll still give the client what they want. So the client's happy, but they haven't made any money. They've just spent 10 grand.
Okay.
Or spend 50,000 with an agency that really is all about growing their business, taking them to the next level, really allowing them to see what's possible through website design and development, and also allow them to think bigger. That's also the problem, is most clients don't really know what's possible.
Okay.
And so that's where automation comes into play. And so it's really like, we're there to help grow their business through automation, through the website, through marketing, through conversion. And most agencies or developers aren't like that. They're just like, well, what do you want? We'll make it. We'll make you happy.
So, okay. So just to sum that part up real quick, it sounds like when a business owner is deciding how they're going to go about their online journey, that being their website, who they're going to work with, whether it's a website or a landing page, if not both, they should essentially be looking for somebody or some group that is going to help educate, guide, advise,
but also
take lead.
Take lead, but something bigger, and that's to inspire and motivate.
Okay.
Inspire change, inspire growth.
Yeah.
And like make you realize, dude, you could do this. You could take this 100,000 a year, 1 million a year, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
You could 10x this. You could take it to 10 million. You could take it to 100 million.
Okay.
And when you take it from 1 million to 10 million, we'll be right there with you, and we will help you then take it from 10 million to 100 million. Because at that point, automation is going to really matter.
Okay. And why? How do those tools help my bottom line?
Well, think about it. Okay, you have 5 employees all doing manual work that is systematic.
Okay.
Meaning they're doing the same thing all the time. They're running reports. They're getting stuff in from one system into another. They're running reports on that data, whatever it might be. There's so many different uses of automation. Or what you should be doing at that level is finding a way to automate those tasks. And if with those same 5 employees that you had doing all this manual stuff, now those employees can work on selling your products or giving your customers even better customer service, because now they're not tied down doing data entry or whatever they might be doing that could be automated. They're working on growing your business, making your clients raving advocates.
So essentially, automation buys time.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
That's the best part. Yeah, it's a great way to put it. And that's all we're trying to do these days,
Yes.
Even as entrepreneurs, as, people. How do you buy time? How do you create time?
Right.
One way that I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent, but one way we do that, or I do that, is waking up at 4:30 a.m. every morning. I'm buying time.
Dang.
Yeah, and I used to wake up at 7.
Yeah.
And now, let's see, what's that? 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So 2.5 hours every morning, Monday through Sunday,
Yeah.
4:30 a.m.
Yeah.
That times, I don't have the math, so I can't. You could probably put some numbers up on the screen.
Sure.
That per year is got to be quite a few days of extra time that I just bought myself, or that I just created for myself by waking up a little bit earlier every morning.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's huge. And I did the math the other day of, what if I put in 6 hours on the weekends, 6 to 8 hours of work on the weekends? How many days does that create for me? I think it was something like 80 or 90 days in a year that I add to my growth.
That's 3 months.
Yeah, dude.
That's a whole quarter.
Yeah, dude. What would you do if you had an extra quarter worth of
Income?
income, growth, personal and professional? I mean, what could you do with 3 months of extra time per year?
Well, see, that's what makes me that's what firmly makes me believe that Mint Media is so far ahead of so many, if not almost every other agency that's out there, because not to super segue this, but when I think of like people like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, these guys, any champion that anybody might be just infatuated with, these guys, dedication isn't the word, right? I saw a clip where Kobe was talking about how he woke up at 4 a.m. every morning, and he did that since high school, and just he talks about how many
That's about the workout.
Yeah, how many times he goes to practice, and versus the people that are his age playing the same game, and how they're not doing that level of commitment. They're not going out there and practicing as much as he is. So by the end of 10 years from now, there's no chance. They have no chance of being at that level that he's at, because they didn't put anywhere near that time.
Because he created time. He got 2 workouts in when everyone else got 1 workout in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just incredible what you can do. Most people complain there's not enough time in a day.
Yeah.
Well, those are the people sleeping until 7, going to bed at maybe midnight.
It's true.
But they're gaming all the time. They're watching TV. I mean, dude, if you just, I think the average is 3.5 hours a day of TV that most people watch.
I believe that.
And I think that's low.
Yeah.
I think the actual number is higher. Could you imagine if you dedicated that time? If you just have a W-2 job working for a company maybe you don't even like, but you spent that 3 hours a day on something that you believe in.
Man, I feel like I heard this from you, and it could have been somebody else, but I'm pretty sure it was you, where it was like, work your 9 to 5 to pay your bills, but your 5 to 9 build your dreams.
Yeah.
That has resonated with me for some time now.
Yep. It's important. You gotta create that time, and that's also what a good agency will do for you. We started this out by talking about people who spend $100, $200 a month to build their site themselves and maintain it and do all the stuff that they don't really know how to do, but they're doing it because they want to stick to that budget.
Yes.
Instead, hire an agency that specializes in this stuff, is really also investing their time into your vision as well, and buy that time back.
Yes.
Imagine all the time you spend on your website being able to spend that on your business.
I hear you. So the obvious solution to making sure that you haven't budgeted yourself out of making the maximum amount of money that you ought to be making, since the obvious solution to that is, well, don't skimp on what I'm investing in, and don't skimp on myself, essentially.
Well, yeah, don't skimp on the things that will actually make you money.
Right. Yeah. Don't want to do that, since I know that that is the obvious solution, without giving away all of our agency's secrets. What are some things that I should be implementing on my site right now that I maybe haven't done already?
Dang, that's an awesome question. And honestly, it's one we should actually have a podcast about, so we'll do that in the coming weeks.
Okay.
But a couple ideas are just knowing, what is your website actually there to do?
Okay.
And if you can't answer that question, if your answer to that is, well, it's so people find me online, that's the wrong answer. You need to have a reason for your website. Okay. It could be to generate leads for your website, or product awareness, or getting people to come to your storefront and actually have some educated information, so that when they come in, they have most of their questions answered, but they have real questions now. They have the better questions to ask that will actually allow your sales team to take them over that edge and sell them on whatever you're selling.
Okay.
So you need to have a reason for your website.
Okay.
Typically it's leads.
Okay.
You want to feed your sales team with leads.
Yes.
That involves having various opt-in opportunities on your website. That goes into number 2. So you might have what we call a lead magnet. That's something you can offer for free in return for an email address, a name, and a phone number.
Okay.
Because those are the 3 things you need for your sales team to make a call.
Okay.
And follow up with that person to then get the sale.
Okay.
Now, it could also be like, maybe you don't have a sales team. That's okay. Maybe it's not a lead in that fashion where a sales team is following up, but maybe you're still offering something for free, getting their email address and name, and now you can use marketing automation and email automation to communicate with them through text message if you get their phone number, and they're allowing you to text them. That's also very important. You got to stay legal. But then also you can follow up through email and get them to become raving fans.
Okay.
That's what you want. You want them to become raving fans, and you do that through content and excitement and passion and information, free information.
Right.
Really, it's not free. There is a transaction taking place.
Right.
And that's the exchange of awesome information from you for their email address.
Yes. Yes.
That's still a transaction. And it's the best transaction because it's non-monetary.
Right.
It's easier to give up your email address. And then once you've had that transaction, it's easier to get the second money, which is essentially the first money.
Yes.
It's actually the money part.
Yes.
So having lead opportunities, opt-ins, having a reason for your website, and then the last one would be landing pages. That way you can drive people from your Facebook page or like organic social media posts from anywhere to a page that's very specifically built for the person that's landing on that page.
Okay.
So it could be for a specific service. It's not for like, hey, here's the 20 services we offer.
Right.
Pick which one you want and then, give us your info. It's really like, hey, you want to build a mobile app in the fitness industry and it needs to be a health tracker.
Okay.
Very specific. That would be its own landing page and you'd be driving traffic or either organic or paid from Facebook or whatever channel
Sure.
to that specific page.
I like it. Okay.
And a quote I love from one of my mentors, Brandon Dawson, is confusion leads to failure. So if you're offering too much stuff on that landing page and that person isn't interested in all that other stuff, they're going to be confused.
Yeah.
They're going to fail at opting in or giving you their information. They're going to bounce.
And go to the next one.
Yeah, and that's why your site needs to be built in a very specific way to follow that user journey, we have very specific ways to build the site to make it follow that journey, that knowledge journey, so we can capture them wherever they're at in the buying process and get them to where they need to be to ultimately make that decision themselves.
Kind of like a subway connecting them to the right stop.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
You give them all the tools. They get off wherever they need to get off, the train or the subway.
Yeah.
And they're stoked because right when they get off, they're getting exactly what they want.
Great. That's great. Well, guys, whatever you do, don't budget yourself out of making the money you deserve. I'm Jason, and you can reach us at 866-543-9988 if you'd like to talk more about getting yourself into the website that you deserve to be in.
And the website that'll just totally increase their profit and revenue in their business.
Absolutely.
Let's be honest here.
Absolutely.
This is really what this conversation is about. Invest the money so that you can make your website a freaking money-making machine. I think if you were to invest $50,000, and this is based off of actually our clients, if you were to invest $50,000 into your website, you are going to generate $250,000 at least, because you're going to generate more leads. Your leads are actually going to be more qualified because they're following that user journey that we built out and strategized.
Yeah.
So your sales team is going to be filled to the brim with qualified leads, not cold ones that don't know anything about you.
Yes.
They're going to know about you, they're going to know what you offer, and they are going to be warmer than leads that come in from a site that's not optimized. Also, there's so much more, the 96% of the things that you don't know that go into a website.
Sure.
Things like bounce rate and other metrics that go into knowing how a site performs. Things like how fast it loads up. Do you know how to do that? Not you, but do you know how to do that?
Right.
Do you know how to speed up your site? Did you know that people bounce after 3 seconds of sitting on your site? Does your site load in 3 seconds? Do you know how to make it load in 3 seconds? And that's like the most rudimentary stuff we work on. That goes into every site we build, no matter what.
So the real question is, does your current developer, whether that's you or somebody else, are they telling you this? Are you getting this information? Are you building based off of simple tips and tricks like that? I won't even call it a trick. Simple tips, best practices. Are you building based off of that? If you're not, pony up. Don't budget yourself out of money. Give us a call. Again, that number is 866-543-9988. And you've been watching The Mint Condition.
Hey, also, we're talking about websites here.
Yeah.
They can go to mintandmedia.com.
Oh.
It's a pretty beautiful site.
Oh. Well, check it out. What are you doing?
Check it out.
Give us a call.